Welcome, Aries family members. This is your mid-monthly reading. Welcome to my YouTube channel, One Who Sees Tarot. And this is a mid-monthly reading for the astrological sign of Aries. And this is a reading for May. I'll say the 15th through the 31st. Of course, some of these energies are going to extend further than that. But nonetheless, let us get started so that we can really pay attention to what the Spirit Guide is showing us in the way of this particular spread. Aries family members, I do see where some of you have dealt with a relationship or are dealing with a relationship, and this relationship has some infidelity in it. And the reason why I say that is because I see this masculine energy that appeared to be a person that you revered, someone that you looked up to, someone that was wise. At least you thought they were wise, and perhaps they are. However, as the cycle of life is taking its turn, I do see where that masculine energy is going in a different direction. And so whereas it's going in a different direction, some of you right now are being advised by the Spirit Guide that the choice is yours, and you have to exercise the option of whether or not you want to stay in the relationship or whether you want to move on. I do see, though, if you decide that you do want to move on, I do see, and I actually do see for many of you, I do see a change. I do see a, not an abrupt change, it's not an abrupt change, but I do see a definite change. There's a definite change, a definite ending to something, and I would say it's that relationship, and there's definitely a new beginning. I do see where love is being offered to some of you, or love is on its way to some of you. In addition to that, let me tell you that the Spirit Guide is showing me that some of you are thinking about taking a road trip. You're thinking about traveling somewhere, and this is not a flight, this is not a vacation in that regard. It's a short distance trip, and the Spirit Guide is showing me that this is not necessarily the best time for you to embark on that trip. In addition to that, some of you, I do see the Spirit Guide is showing me that some of you were thinking about relocating, moving to a different place, another apartment, another habitat, whatever it is, whether it's house, apartment, condo. But I do see that this is not the time for you to move right now. So for some of you Aries family members, this is a stationary time as far as the movement is concerned. I do see, though, psychologically and as far as your emotions are concerned, it's up to you now to move on and to leave some of that pain behind. There is some refreshing news coming to you very soon. And some of you Aries family members have been struggling with your finances, trying to juggle, and it's been a little bit awkward, a little bit challenging, and I certainly can relate to that. However, I do want to tell you that the Spirit Guide is clearly showing me, particularly for some of you, the feminine energy of Aries, I do see money coming, and that money that is coming to you is going to set you in a place of stability. It's going to set you in a place of financial stability. This relationship that you're coming out of, or this relationship that you're ending, it appears to be a relationship where the person was dishonest. It clearly shows, the cards are clearly laid out, showing dishonesty, clearly showing someone who was one-sided, someone who was concerned about their own well-being and not necessarily yours. On the other hand, some of you Aries family members are also getting ready to start a family or to enlarge your family. Or you may be beginning something that, a pleasant surprise that's coming right now. This pleasant surprise is coming to you in the not too distant future. And this pleasant surprise, according to this particular card in the tarot, usually indicates either there's someone that's going to start a family, enlarge their family, or it could be someone that's expecting some type of engagement or commitment. Nonetheless, there is something in the way of a pleasant surprise coming for you, Aries family members. I do see an ending, as I said, an ending to something and the beginning of something new. And the reason why this thing has to end is because it is causing a disturbance in your family structure. It's causing a disturbance in the way you are structured, your roots, your foundation. I also see this relationship has such a bitter taste in it because this relationship is a relationship where you don't feel appreciated. You're not feeling as if you're getting your just due. You're not getting what you deserve, and you should very well then consider making a move, and make a move quickly. So I do see where you're getting ready to make a move quickly, and that's good. However, as you make your move quickly, you do not have to make it, as Aries can be sometimes, excitable. You don't have to make it. You don't have to make it so that it is distasteful. You can just move. You can just go about your business and change the way, move your life. Move your life. It doesn't mean, and I have to go back to that and clarify, it doesn't mean necessarily that you're changing physical locations, but it does mean that you do need to change your mind about how you see this relationship and how you see your own life. Once again, there is good news coming. And some of you Aries family members, perhaps you're getting frustrated about the way you're earning money. And so, once again, the Spirit Guide is leading me to tell you, let's not be impulsive right now. This is not a good time for you to be impulsive and jump out there on some new adventure, particularly some new adventure as far as work and finances, some new adventure that is not in your milieu. In other words, you need to stay within your field for the moment, and while you're staying within your field, that field where you are is going to bless you. I do see where you're going to have money to bank. See, what's happening is that I see in your center here, the cards are indicating, the Spirit Guide is laying the cards to indicate that you're having some difficulty juggling. And so once again, there's money coming. Once again, there's some stability coming in your finances. And that stability has a lot to do with you going to work every day and staying basically in your field. And I am all for progress, and I'm all for moving forward and training and so on and so forth. But in other words, let's not be impulsive. Let's not be impulsive and jump out there without a plan. In addition, some of you are being advised not to go backwards. So in other words, some of you were thinking about going backwards, going back to something, going back somewhere, and the Spirit Guide is saying, don't go back, don't go back. Once you make a decision to go forward, don't go backwards on the decision that you're making. Be man enough, woman enough, person enough to go forward with your own decision, which is going to be good for your own life. For some of you Aries family members, I do see a very intelligent feminine energy rising up in your environment. So this feminine energy is coming from a person who is very articulate and intelligent, and this person is giving you some good information and giving you some good advisement. And if I were you, I would heed to your advisement. Aries family members, interesting that this card should show up in this spread, because this card again shows that now this is the card for flying, the card for long distance trips. So some of you may have been considering that, okay, you're just going to take a break and you're going to go on vacation. And the Spirit Guide is telling me to tell you that this is not the time to do that. This is neither the time to take a break, and it's neither the time to run away and take a vacation. Some of you are going to have to deal with things and face things. Some of you Aries family members, once again, I do see a strong, beautiful, attractive, sexy, if you will, feminine energy coming. I do see that feminine energy coming for some of you who are interested in the feminine energy of Aries. There is a feminine energy coming. I also see some of you are being reluctant about going back to school and getting that training. Some of you are being reluctant, and you're fighting that decision. And the Spirit Guide has laid the cards out in front of me to tell you that if you want to move forward with your life, and if you want to make moves and put yourself in a position that's going to help your future, then further training is a mandate. You have to do that. Some of you are losing a friend. And it's okay sometimes, because as you go forward, everyone is not going to go with you, and everyone's not going to grow at the same pace that you're growing. So for some of you Aries family members, I see where there's a friendship that is being challenged. And that's okay. Let it go. If there's a friendship that's being challenged, it doesn't mean that you hate the person. It means that you're moving on to another level, and that person is going at their speed, going at their rate of movement in life. That's all. For some of you Aries family members, I do see once again, I do see a card that gives credence to this other card that talks about stability. It talks about you doing what you're doing. In other words, don't jump out there now. Don't jump out there being impulsive as far as work is concerned. Hang in there, because the Spirit God is laying this card in front of me to tell you to hang in there. In addition, some of you might be receiving some news that might be troubling. Hang in there. Some of you might be receiving some news that might be troubling to you as far as your mental state. You might feel confused about the news that you are getting. Well, I want you to know that that's okay, because there's some better news coming, and I can see it clearly in this spread. The Spirit God is laying this out, telling me. I do see where some of you are concerned because perhaps you have received some bad news or some news that was not necessarily favorable about money. And I do see where some of you have not been able to treat yourself and take care of yourself in the way that you wanted to or the way you want to. In addition, though, I do see you coming to a place, though, Aries family members. You're coming to a place where you're going to end this strife. You're going to end this strife. There's going to be an end to strife, an end to this drama. It's coming. It is coming, but all of it has to do with you making that decision and exercising your options. And these options have to do with this relationship. And sometimes as I do these readings, I always sense the need to tell my listening audience that when you go through a relationship and that relationship is not working out for you right now, and that relationship has to end in order for a new one to begin, don't take the same taste in your mouth. Don't digest the negativity of the relationship and take it into the next relationship. Aries family members, this has been your mid-monthly reading. Thank you for listening. And if you'd like to reach out to me by email for prayer consultation, or if you'd like to book a private reading, please do not hesitate to email me at onewhosees4, that's the numeral 4, onewhosees4you @yahoo.com. Thank you so much for listening. Looking forward to talking with you in a few weeks.